Hi, everybody. It's Nell Thames with Stamp with Nell. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Mount Vernon, Texas. Thank you for joining me. I hope you liked our new intro. My son's girlfriend is quite the Canva expert, and she created it for me when I asked her to make something similar to something I saw another content creator, not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, but someone else make. So I hope you liked it. David actually wrote the music for it. So we've been trying to push him to write some music for me, and he managed to do that this week while he was on a business trip in Florida. So we are going to make a really easy card today. So I am going to show it to you. Well, let me show you first where I found it. If you've had a chance to, all my stuff is on my right. It's usually on my left. So I'm going to probably keep looking to, now I've put it on my left. So we are going to go to page 22. David, you do not need to zoom on this. We're going to go to page 22 of the annual catalog. And I just want to show you that down here, there are some sketches. And those are our sketches that Stampin' Up! Has provided. Hello, we just went dead there. There we go. Stampin' Up! Has provided for us to get creative with. And so I thought I would take this sketch is the one I'm doing. If you can maybe see that. Yeah, okay. So we're doing this one with all the circles. And we're going to put a piece of DSP back here. We could have put something else, but I chose to put DSP back there. So again, it's page 22 of the annual catalog, and we're going to make this card. And this is what it turns out looking like. Well, this is my version of that sketch. This is how I interpreted the sketch. And I'm always amazed at how people interpret the sketch, because I don't necessarily think outside the box when it comes to sketches and things like that. I've seen, somebody might have put birds instead of circles. Somebody might have used squares. Somebody might have used, the modern oval. I saw one of our team members did a sketch where she used a rounded, and I know it was a die, but I don't know what it was from, a rounded die instead of the square lines that I used, because that was what was on the sketch. So I challenge myself sometimes to come to think a little bit outside of the box. I did not think outside of the box for this one, and I'll tell you why. Because this has been an incredibly busy day, and this is going to be my card for Tuesday's blog. I'm not participating in the blog hop. It's a masculine theme, and I struggle so much with anything that isn't for a woman. So I'm sorry. I know that that's the whole reason we do the blog hop, but I was already on the struggle bus, and I decided that I couldn't do another masculine card. Although I did do a really gorgeous masculine card this week. Oh, I don't have it. I'm sure it's over there, but I can't find it. But I made a really gorgeous card for David. I was going to blog it on Sunday, and I ended up not doing it because it's a little bit complicated. It was following Robin Armbrecht's photo card. So it's a beautiful layout, and I made it for David because I've been watching all of the makers come over, and I'm so grateful that Stampin' Up! Was able to make an offer to them that is a good, so that they could continue their craft, and we as card makers can learn from them. I was a scrapbooker a long time ago, and I have not scrapbooked since my daughter was 5. So I think we decided that was 17-ish years ago. Is that right, David? David does math way better than me. Because the short version of this story is the last data that I scrapbooked. I was at the end of the crop. It was at Archivers. I don't know if there's no more of those left around, but if you've ever went to the scrapbook store and scrapbooked, it was really fun. And there were always goodies, including M&Ms, almost always. But that day at the end of the crop, my grandma died, or I got a call that my grandma had died, and I had missed seeing her that day. It was a Friday, and I always went to her house on Friday with my daughter, and I didn't go that day. And so it's one of those things that has kept me from being a scrapbooker, is because of my guilt over that day. So that's my story. Now you know a little bit more about me. So, okay, I'm going to, this is, again, this is a really easy card. We're going to be together for about a half an hour today. And I appreciate you if you're watching live. I really appreciate you if you come back and watch the replay, if you make some time to watch the replay. I'm going to just mention that on the intro, it does say like and subscribe. So if you're on YouTube, if you would remember to like and subscribe and set your notification button to all so that you know when I go live, I would really appreciate that. It helps me be seen more, especially even if you, the other option is to comment. If you comment, like, and subscribe, it helps me to be seen. So it's a free, easy thing you can do, and I appreciate it very much. All right, so we're using let me show you the paper we're using. We're using the 2426 In Color paper. It's the 6x6 Designer Series paper that just came out on May 1st. And it is, every year this 6x6 paper changes. It's for all of the color families. So this year, this is what the paper looks like. And I'm telling you, this Shy Shamrock and the Summer Splash are so close. It's kind of hard to see them. So these are the colors all together: Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Summer Splash, I'm pretty sure. Nope, this is the Shy Shamrock, Petunia Pop, and Summer Splash. And that's one side. So there are, I think it's 45, 42 pieces of paper in here. Let me see if it tells me. Probably not. 40. There are 40 pieces of paper. What's wrong? Okay. There are 40 pieces of paper. There's that makes me do math. There's, each piece of paper is two-sided. So, and then it's this pretty leaf. I really like this leaf. And, we have the leaf background stamp that's so pretty. So I feel like I see a pattern there. And then we're going to use this pattern in our card today. And so these are all the same then. You get the same 4 patterns for each color. I'm off to the side there, I see now. Okay. I used in my card, I tried to use a variety so that we did not get bored. My card is pretty generic. I'm using the, and then Pretty in Pink, not generic. I didn't mean it that way. It's an everyday card. So it is using, if I can find it, let me find my card again. So I use the Love This Moment. This one was a carryover. I can never remember if it's in the catalog or if it's in the online store, because there's no easy way for demonstrators, and that means for you to find out where it is. Clearly, if it's not in the catalog, it's probably an online exclusive. And some of the ones that were in the catalog until April 30th have moved over and become online exclusives. So for example, the Everyday Details dies. I bought these at the end of the catalog, and then we got, or I bought it in March, and then we got the catalog and it wasn't in there. And I thought, oh my gosh, I just bought those. Gratefully, I am very grateful. I'm very happy because I get a chance to use them now, and they are in the online store. So if you don't see it in the catalog, something that you really liked, it might be in the online store, especially if it was a bundle. Just because the bundle went away doesn't mean that the individual elements went away. So I forgot to hand the dogs their bone. I don't know what I did with their thing. So I'm going to just surreptitiously do that over here. Because it is a lovely day in Texas today. It's a little humid, but it's a lovely day. And the dogs have been seeing, just one please. Where's the other one? Here we go. Dogs have been seeing, do you want me to move this? There, okay. People taking a walk. So we had a little bit of a barking session. If we stop, if we put up a screen and you stop hearing sound, it's because the dogs are barking and we need to get them out of the room. There's no easy way to do that while while the person is walking by. And even if I shut the blinds, it won't matter. They'll hear them. I don't know how they hear them. I mean, they can hear the UPS truck coming from a mile away. I'm pretty sure. because they are crazy about that. So this is kind of a, in my opinion, this is kind of a scrapbook set. So I would use, that's what I intend to use it for, is for scrapbooking. But I really like this smile. And I want you to notice that here on this E, there is a little, I don't know if you can see this, there's a little divot. Yeah, kind of a little divot out of the E. And so, because I stamped this about 4 times thinking, what is wrong with my stamp that it keeps cutting that E right there? And it's because that's actually how the stamp is made. So there we go. Whoops, sorry, Jesse. And I did not stamp a sentiment inside. I typically will stamp a sentiment outside or inside, but not both. These are the 2426 In Color resin dots. I believe these are out of stock at this point, but that doesn't just until May 13th. So they will be back. Also, if you, I think, let's just double check while I have the catalog out somewhere. I'm pretty sure these are included in the suite that I blogged about today. I used the Unbounded Beauty Suite, which is also not available until the 13th of May. Excuse my fingers. Okay, there we go. So there they are there. So they are that whole suite. So if you read my blog this morning and were disappointed you can't get the Unbounded Beauty Suite, it's coming. It is part of the annual catalog, so it will definitely come back. All right, let's do a little bit of adhering. So we're gonna do a little bit of cutting, but I already did most of it just because I don't want to keep you forever. I want you to come by, have a good time, and then get back to your day. And hello, what's all that sneezing back there? Get back to your day, and I think I have 2 things to cut. This day was kind of crazy. We always have lunch with my son and his girlfriend on Sundays after church. They go to a different church than we do, so we meet kind of in the middle. Lately, not so much in the middle, but this is the last week of school for him. He graduates on Saturday, and we have been, we actually went all the way out to him today. There's not very many restaurants at all near where I live, and there's definitely not that many restaurants. He has more restaurants than we do, but definitely not. You know, it's getting, since we do it every week, I love the company, but I'm getting kind of tired of the food. So, all right, I'm trying to find my blue here. Pretty sure that's this one. All right, so this stripy pattern is the one I want, and I want it going up and down. All right. And I have instructions because I've learned that I forget things, and so I finally had to start writing myself instructions before I write the. Also makes the PDF instructions much easier to write. So this is 3 1/4, and of course, when I'm cutting the width, and this is the width, I want directionally. I want it to in the proper orientation. And then when I cut the length, it doesn't matter so much, the length. So this is 5 1/2 because it's going to go all the way down to the bottom of the card front. This is a tent card, so I have it. See, this is what happens with me. I have it in my hand. I know exactly what I'm doing, and then I can't find it. So this is a tent card, which meaning it stands up like this instead of like this. But you can make this either way. So this I know is just going to get adhered to the bottom, and then we'll do a little bit of die cutting before we adhere the rest of it. And again, I'm telling you, this is pretty easy. So I am probably on the simple end when it comes to crafting. I'm not necessarily. I try to be an avid crafter, and I feel like in terms of, lots of layers and all that fun stuff, but it just really in the end, I am much more of a kind of a middle of the road crafter. But I love watching all those people that are so talented and just have, can layer and think out of the box. I'm just always impressed by what they do. Okay, so I have my 3 cuts that are, okay, see, this is the only way I can tell which is green and which is blue. Blue, green, Summer Splash, Shy Shamrock. I am going to put Shy Shamrock over here because I want to break this up. I do not want them right smack on top of each other, but I do want these two like this. And then the thing that I didn't cut, we're going to move this over here for a moment. I did not cut my, well, I did cut it. I just don't know what I did with it. So in terms of cutting, this, the Circle Everyday Details, the second smallest, is the ones that I cut out of the DSP. And then the larger one is the one that came out of this pretty in pink cardstock. Oh, sorry about that. I have a new mic, so if you're hearing weird things that you don't expect to hear, it could possibly be my mic. I can't see it. I think you can see it better than I can. In fact, I see that you can see it, but I'm hoping that I'm not rubbing against it and making weird noises. So, and I think I cut this big enough. Now, in this case, this cuts off. Let me show you the inside. This ridge here will cut this off, so it will do a pattern on the outside, and it will die cut at this ridge and then do a pattern on the inside. So I am not worried that this is going to hang over just a little bit. I just kind of did a quick cut. I was going to get this cut before it went live, but it said 14 seconds. So I probably could have still done it, but I didn't. So, ooh, I did not have a good hold on that. And there we go. So the funny thing about this little guy is this particular thing, there are all these, oh yeah, I was testing out the smile because it kept giving me that funky E. But there's all these little pieces, and when they fall into the garbage can, it sounds like rain. Anyway, we're going to put that off to the side and we'll deal with the rain later. Okay, so here is our sentiment circle, and I'm going to use the smile again and the, oh, Jesse's stealing my stuff down here. Oh, is the fan okay? Oh, good. See, David is a technical whiz for me, and I really appreciate his talents, because there are, you know how it is with any partnership. There's I don't know, like the way that looks. That is too inky, and I'm gonna probably get ink all over myself. So so if you see, I have this little chamois. It's actually a quarter of a chamois. I have some classes that are currently ready in registration. It's the Hearts and Hugs class I have coming up in May, towards the end of May. It's the last Thursday of the month. And those little chamois, I have some as a gift in my packages. So if you are interested in participating in the Hearts and Hugs class, it is 6 cards that I've designed. 4 of them are designed now. It will be 6 cards. One will be a fun fold. But the others are, any level of crafters can do it. And so if you are interested in that, the link will be in, I don't put it on my blog, so you need to sign up for my newsletter. And you can go to https, is it colon, //stampwithnell.com, or just go to stampwithnell.com and the window will pop up and you can read // It's // isn't it? Oh no, it's // He's right. It's // He's the computer guy, not me. And you can sign up for my newsletter there. And my newsletter has my newsletter, my blog updates, and in there is where my classes are announced. And I'm going to do a kit with me, or a sip and kit is actually what I'm calling it, June 1st. And that one, you just pick a kit that I have, and I will mail it to you, and then we'll just get together on Zoom and we'll put it together. So that's really good if you have a young child that would be interested in crafting with you, because the kits are all inclusive and come with really good instructions. And we'll just sit together. Not everybody will have the same kit, but it'll be a way for everybody to get together and to sit and talk to each other. It's something that we don't get to do very often now. It feels like um, there's a lot of isolation, and part of crafting, I think, is not crafting in isolation. So I have to admit that I do it. I sit in my room and I sit in my craft room and I craft by myself. And sometimes I like that, but I feel like I want to get out of that box. And I live in a pretty small town. And just making sure I put this on before I actually push it down. I want to make it straight. Although it's not straight on the stamp. But I just want to make it, pretty. And so you saw what I did there. I stamped it in pretty petunia pop. The names will come to me eventually. I stamped it in petunia pop on the pretty in pink, and then I put dimensionals behind there. So because there are dimensionals there, we're going to put dimensionals as we put this on here, and we're going to line this. We're going to make sure it doesn't go over our sentiment there, and then line this up on the edge, because that's what the sketch did. So over here, we're going to put glue, and then on the other side, we are going to put gonna. I don't like that word, and I know that the closed caption is going to say gonna. so I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry if it says that. We're going to put Stampin' Dimensionals, but maybe not that one. Okay, so just decide which way you want to. Obviously put if it's directional, put it with where up is up. And then make sure that you put it on the correct side when you turn it over. It's not the end of the world if you put a dimensional there. You can get it off. You can cut it off. After an early debacle I had on a live, I did realize, Mary Deathridge kept telling me, just cut it off like I do. Use your paper snips. And I, at the time, could not think what she was talking about. So I did finally figure out how to fix that. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that I don't want it too far down with the petunia pop. So there we go. All right. And so that's the front of our card. Really, really simple. You can make several of these. I've told you that I make some cards for a group that sends cards to people who have cancer. And this is the kind of card I would like to make for them, because it's pretty, but it's easily reproducible, and I can make a lot of them in a short period of time. And if I'm giving a gift, sometimes that's what I want as well. I want someone to have a handmade card, or 5 or 6 or 10 in a package that I'm giving them, but I don't want to spend hours die cutting pieces. So you could also put a little bit of, we could have put a little bit of ribbon around this. If we put a ribbon around this piece of DSP, I probably would have backed it with cardstock, or adhered it to cardstock, wrap the ribbon around, and then use dimensionals there. So just another way to look at that. And now I have a little piece somewhere. I have a little piece of, we're just going to make our own. We're going to use this one. Oh no, here it is. It's probably over here. But that is the wrong paper. You can tell what I was crafting with yesterday. All right, so we probably don't want to go the wrong way. So I realize this is pretty in pink, but that's what we're going to go with. I could have cut that either way, and then just, this is just a 1/4 inch long. I cut it a 1/4 inch by 6 inches, and that is not even all the way around. So let's try that again, shall we? Sometimes I think I do. No, it's my paper. At some point I cut this not straight. So there, we're going to try this one more time. We'll straighten it out and try this one more time. All right, there we go. Oops, sorry. So we got the new mic because I have a tendency to trail off. And I also, sometimes I forget something behind me and I don't necessarily speak clearly enough. So what do we think? Do we think pink or do we think leaf? I mean, they're both pink rather. Do we think stripes? I kind of like the continuation of the stripes, so that's where I'm going. That's what I'm doing. I use my grid paper as much as I can to keep my paper straight, because when hello? Gosh, this happens to me all the time. And there it is. I'm always dropping the paper off the edge. So I have a tendency to not put them on straight, and that kind of makes me nuts when I go back and look at it and realize that it's adhered and it's not straight. So I have really gotten into the habit of using the lines on my grid papers so that I can get it mostly straight. See, and then sometimes maybe I am getting it straight and the glue is the problem. That could not be true because I am a, hello there, come on now. I am a team liquid glue, so it can't be the glue, it has to be the user. Clearly it is the user. Okay, and paper snips that I just had in my hand. There they are. I was watching a demonstrator, I think it was Ange McCabe. I don't actually remember what her last name is, I'm sorry. But I was watching her, and she was talking about tips about organization and how you, she was talking about how do you do it all? How do you work and still run a business, and how do you have time for it all? And one of the things she said is that when she's done crafting, it's not a disastrous mess. She said, because she says to herself as she's crafting, she says, don't lay it down, put it away. And so I have her in my head now, don't lay it down, put it away. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is not to lay it down. Now this is Stampin' Seal. And I have a hard time. I don't have any nails right now. I haven't had nails for a while. I just, but, oh, come on now. There's no reason, in my opinion, there is no reason that this needs to go all the way down, but I still do it anyway, because I've seen people that just put it at the corner. I've seen people who just do it at the top and the bottom. And everybody has their own way of adhering things. And I've never had a card fall apart. So now that's not quite true. I do struggle with bows if I don't adhere them to the paper well enough. But again, I don't use a lot of them, and that maybe that's why, because I have not come to the good point of adhering them. Okay, we are going to go back to the front because I forgot to put the dots on, and I'm going to use Petunia Pop, and I'm going to use 3 of them. Now, when I did this before, I realized that there's a smile there, and this looks like a face, but you know what? I like it, and I'm going to leave it. It is my artistic endeavor. It's probably, at least one of these will probably go to my daughter. And so, I'm going to not only got to send her a smile, I'm going to send her a little face to go with the smile. So there we go. And our envelope is going to be pretty basic. I have 2 minutes to get the envelope and keep you on time, so you can, so you have time to do whatever you want to do later. So I'm going to just put this one on like this. I'm going to trim it with the paper snips that I just put away. And the reason that I could put my hand on them is because, like Ange said, I put it away. I didn't lay it down. I put it away. So there you go. Now you've got that little, what is it called? An earworm. And now you're going to think the same thing. And look at this. I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to lay it down. I'm going to put it away. Finally, we're going to go for, I didn't actually pick or did I? Nope. Didn't actually pick anything to put on the front. So I'm going to just select something now. Hopefully my blocks don't all fall over, because it would be loud. I'm just going to go with the, there's a little heart here. So I'm just going to go with this little heart. If there was a little thing that said hi, I would put it in here and do that. What I really wanted was something that said, happy mail. Oh, sorry, this is going to be, thankfully the heart is on the edge. So I'm just going to stamp this heart. I don't actually care whether it's straight or not in this for the front of the envelope. Doesn't matter to me. It's not, I'm not that particular about that thing, because it's just, oops, I am particular about the fact that I just got ink all over my thing. All right, and there we go. It is 6:30, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Nell Thames. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from, where am I from, David? Mount Vernon, Texas. I can't. Some days I just wonder where my brain goes when I'm sitting here. I appreciate you being here so much. I appreciate you if you were here live. I appreciate you if you're here watching the replay. If you could go to my blog at Stamp with Nell, 1L, stampwithnell.com, and fill out my form to receive my newsletter. You'll get all of the details about what's happening at Stamp with Nell, and that includes registration for my current card class, the Hearts and Hugs class. It's the one that has the badgers and the hamster and the little mouse, and can't think what the other thing is. Walruses. Oh my gosh, the walruses. I love the walruses. That's why I bought it. It's walruses. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe and set the notification bell. And if you have, or bell, and if you have not already done so, if you would like the video on YouTube, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much for spending some of your Sunday with me. And I will not see you next week, but I will have a recorded video for you next week because it's Mother's Day and my mom will be here and we'll be driving her back to the airport in Dallas that night. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. I appreciate you.